So I'm also, like previous speakers, interested in communication design, and the mode of communication I use is hip-hop. Hip-hop music, hip-hop culture. I've been fascinated by it for a long time, and especially its power in getting a message across, connecting with an audience, and just making people feel something as a performance mode. So I've found ways to merge it with science and get what I think are the most important ideas in the world out there to new audiences through this medium of hip-hop. And the latest manifestation of that is a collection of songs called The Rap Guide to Climate Chaos. So this is global warming science communicated through hip-hop, and there's no real way to tell you about this without demonstrating it. So I'm going to share a couple of the songs from The Rap Guide to Climate Chaos with you, and I hope you're ready to get involved and participate. This first one is called Fossil Fuel Ballers. Forgive me for producing some emission and pollution, but this rhythm in the music is my living. When I do it, I get paid. Yeah, it's been a decade since I've had a day job, and I did it my way, like Frank Sinatra, kicking up a racket. I could be at a university teaching classes, but this is more fun than teaching. Look at the people I'm reaching. Been around the world. I fly to Europe for the weekend, do a gig in California before I fly to New Zealand. Encyclopedic Rolling Stone, pinch me, I'm dreaming. And you can check my status, got a US visa, 01, artist of extraordinary achievement. This is all I've ever wanted, baby, living the life. In the past 5 years, 150 flights, 15 countries, 40 states and provinces. As for carbon emissions, I'm off the charts with it. Fossil fuel is how I got here, both to entertain you and in my career. If you're earning something, then you're burning something. Prosperity is driven by internal combustion. So where my fossil fuel ball is at? If you're burning something, holla back. Yeah, where my fossil fuel ball is at? If you're burning something, holler back. What, no one's gonna holler back in this whole audience? Yo, this is a Western democracy. Your carbon footprints are huge. Let's be honest, I'll confess first. I've been burning the hydrocarbons at both ends, burning to make money and burning to spend. And no one tells me how to dispose of my own property. A globe-trotting solo artist with total autonomy. This is what I am. Fossil fuel is a part of me. It powers 80% of the global economy. In other words, if you have some money, it's got oil stains on it. Your hands are bloody. And if you don't believe me, go ahead and do a study. Pimping ain't easy, you better ask somebody. Cooking with gas is pimping. Driving a car is pimping. Energy consumption is pimping. Look at how we're living, gangsta. Compared to horse and buggy days, cranking up the air conditioner on muggy days, not freezing to death in the winter. If energy consumption is a sin, I'm a sinner. Life is good, it's better than it used to be. Let the good times roll, fossil fuels are cheap. That's how we stay hella major. Prosperity is the bomb, player hater. So where my fossil fuel ball is at? If you're burning something, holla back. Yeah, where my fossil fuel ball is at? If you're burning something, holla back. And where my fossil fuel ball is at, get loud. If you're burning something, holla back. We got Mother Nature on the back, but it's a one-time thing, never call it back. Wait, turn off the lights, conserve power. Everything goes dark, it's Earth hour. We're taking action on climate change. All together now, back to the Stone Age. In the meantime, I'll be up in Vegas, illuminated, laughing at you player haters. Face it, ballin' is part of our nature, embrace it. You love energy wasting. Would you rather be living large and comfortably, or in a shack burning dung for heat? Some people don't have a choice, but you do. So don't hit me with any hypocritical voodoo about trying to reduce my footprint voluntarily. I'm trying to make ends, I can't let them barely meet. I'm always trying to get more gigs and fly more. I got a wife and a daughter to provide for, and maybe one day solar will supply us. I hope so. It's better for global climate. Just don't make me choose between solar and diapers, and don't make me switch off my amplifiers. So where my fossil fuel ball is at? If you're burning something, holla back. Yeah, where my fossil fuel ball is at? Be honest, if you're burning something, holla back. Yeah, where my fossil fuel ball is at? If you're burning something, holla back. We got Mother Nature on the back, but it's a one-time thing, never call it back. Holla. Anybody who hollers back at that filth should be deeply ashamed of themselves. Turn down a bit, yeah. If you invest in fossil fuels, I feel bad for you, son. I got 99 problems. This ain't one, hit me, slap me, pinch me, wake me up. Some of this stuff is so crazy, I couldn't make it up. So let's just take a second and all contemplate it. A fossil fuel company that's publicly traded. What's a firm in the business of fossil fuel really worth? Their book value is based on their proven reserves. It's not the fuel they sell to us and we burn right now. It's the coal, gas, and oil that's still underground. Technically, it's worthless until it oxidizes, but as soon as they find it, it goes in their stock prices. The top few hundred companies digging it and drilling it are collectively worth more than $7 trillion. Did they forget the IPCC? I thought we had an agreement to keep this heat increase below 2 degrees. If so, we get to release maybe 560 gigatons by 2050. Any disregard for that budget is highly destructive. Those are the facts that we're stuck with. The percentage of the budget covered in proven reserves determines how much we can burn and what to keep in the earth. So what's underground? Waiting to come to market. Around 2,700 gigatons of carbon. That's 5 times as much as we can safely burn. So investment managers should be a bit concerned that fossil fuel stock prices are inflated. Get your pensions out before the industry craters. Investing in fossil fuels gotta be a bad bet if 80% of their stock is a stranded asset, like a warehouse full of Kodak film when digital crashed the market, causing a total loss of principle. What a lack of principles. What's on their books can't be cashed in unless the whole planet cooks. I used to put my faith in spiritual transformation. Now I put my faith in legislation to end this whole fossil fuel charity bid and make sure green energy gets to parity with the grid. I'm talking about a price on carbon. That's the answer. And if you're with it, then Ted, get your hands up. Yeah, the world is full of problems, not easy to solve, and this is how I get people involved. See, well, it is optional really, but the problems aren't easy to solve, and this is how I get people involved. Wait, try this one. Yeah, if you're with it, nod your head to the beat. Climate change is real, nod affirmatively. See, I got you into it. You participated. Now let's envision the world we want and co-create it. It's a vision in which the world has energy that's clean and cheap and easily competes with the dirtiest energy. Are you with me? All right. Let's see what that world would look like. This one gets cranked up, yeah. I'm gonna present to you a vision of the near future in which you'll see me rocking solar panels on my Tesla. Solar panels on my Tesla. I'm rocking solar panels on my Tesla. Green tech renaissance better catch up. Petroleum is oh so prosaic. I'm a player when it comes to photovoltaic. Plus a fan of how the wind feels. Windmills power whole cities when you put them up in fields. That's the new fossil fuel is the old way. Don't hate on wind farms, Don Quixote. Apollo moonshot, scalable renewables. We can't expect Elon Musk to do it on his own. Cellulolytic biofuel and carbon capture, lifting CO2 out of thin air just like the Rapture. Gadgets to manufacture and toys to play with that make it pay when pollution poison's abated. So come fly with me on solar Cessnas into a future of affordable Teslas. I'm rocking solar panels on my Tesla. You guys say it. Use a gas guzzler? That's messed up. I'm rocking solar panels on my Tesla. Did I mention solar panels on my Tesla? Your turn. You got coal dust up in your left lung. I'm rocking solar panels on my... You got it. The messaging is already all there in hip-hop culture. Just have to recruit it for a new message. Look, somebody told me that the climate is changing. And we've been in this place before, and there's nothing we can do about it, just sit and watch as it warms. I say we could make progress by changing the climate of norms, right? What is the climate of norms? It's the climate of what's cool and what's taboo. I mean, we've been in this place before. It's kind of like segregation in the South before MLK kicked in the door. It's kind of like apartheid in South Africa before Nelson Mandela walked free. It's kind of like gay people trying to get married in the States before 2015. See, those laws all needed changing. But so do the laws we have now. Only this time the oppression is getting passed down to your grandchild. Now it's someone in a coastal city in a developing nation being treated unequal, because 1 meter of sea level rise displaces 100 million people. But the climate is changing. It doesn't feel the same as it did 5 years ago. People are starting to open their ears. They're ready to hear. So here we go. We know there's a limit to the emissions our atmosphere can safely carry. Tell people that's the carbon budget. Everything above it has to stay buried. And that's gonna take a little bit of everything. A little bit of civil disobedience, a little bit of disruptive technology, a little bit of digital media, a hell of a lot of replanting forest areas that were logged to the ground, and a total moratorium on all coal-fired power plants. Shut them down. And the fracking of natural gas turns out to be just as bad when you factor production. Every ounce you burn is an act of destruction, an act of injustice that we are responsible for, collectively. But what can individuals do? Well, the climate is sensitive to forcings, and socially, so are you. That's the climate of norms. What are we? We're social animals. And you know, whether or not your neighbors have them is the best predictor of whether you get solar panels. So we can be the early adopters, the visionaries ready to lead. That'll get that green technology ready, which the whole planet is about to need as soon as that carbonized kind of price on carbon kicks in. And if there's no plan where you live at, you can pressure businesses or politicians or look for taxes on filthiness, which is mostly a tax on the wealthiest, and those revenues could help the helpless and keep us under 2 degrees Celsius. We gotta make this change rapidly. How about as rapidly as possible, without crashing this whole economy or shutting out any lights at a hospital? I see it as a civil rights battle, a righteous cause for a generation. You gotta change the laws when they're unjust. You can't just say don't be racist, and you can't just tell people to voluntarily embrace decarbonization. It's been tried for decades. Emissions are still escalating. I found out about this situation because my reading habits are voracious. I thought I could help get the word out thanks to my unique vocation. I started rapping as a teenager, thinking I might change the world. I ended up rapping for about a decade, pretty much just chasing girls. But if I change one mind tonight, or I move one person to action, by my standards, that would be like the definition of gangster rapping. Thank you. Thanks so much. So that was a little taste, but this is actually part of a wider ecosystem that I've been trying to create. The Rap Guide to Climate Chaos is the 8th in a series of rap guides. They include the Rap Guide to Evolution, Religion, Wilderness, Medicine, Business, Human Nature, and Geoffrey Chaucer's Canterbury Tales. And this has been a real treat for me because it is a lifelong learning experience. It's like doing a master's degree every 6 months in a new subject. And I'm very keen to explore many, many more of them. And I guess my message for you is find a medium you're passionate about, a message that you're passionate about, put them together, even if it's surprising to almost everybody you meet. And it's going to work. You're going to connect with people. Thank you.